Alright, I have a bit of a problem. This garage is full. I need to clean this mess up because I can't do anything more until I make some space. And there's so much in here, I can't even get it all in one shot. And the easy place to start, a bunch of my buddy Jordan's stuff. Logistically, it doesn't really make sense, but he needed to make some, he wanted to strip some wire for some cash. So that's what we're doing. Yeah. Gonna bring all that in first, and then we can start on this stuff. All right, and now we are here at Raven Truck Accessories because good buddy, a longtime friend of the channel, Tyler, had us ordered us in a truck accessory. This thing is nice. It's got the winching. Yeah. Fits perfectly too. Thanks, Tyler. All right, but back to the task at hand, that is. There's a bunch of different items in here that do not need permanent homes here. We're going to deal with in a variety of ways, but as is my method, I am going to try and make space as quickly as possible, and I think the items that just need to be listed for sale is probably the best way to do that, because they're less labor. So there's a whole bunch of items in here that really I just need to give a little wipe, take some pictures, and list for sale. And those include this assortment of matched light fixtures, and then 2 adjustable bed frames, and then the bag of tennis balls, and the Ryobi tools. All right. This bag actually came with this bag came with a few scrap goodies in it as well. So, scuffing interface pads for the sander, more pads for the sander. So for scrap, we've got a couple pieces of brass, a bunch of these copper crimp fittings, and I don't know if that's brass or not. And I don't know if the battery's gonna have any. No, the battery's got no power at all. But something cool I learned about the Ryobi tools is they're new. This is the nickel cadmium battery, but the new ones, the lithium batteries, actually fit on as well. So these are all still perfectly good tools that can be used with brand new batteries. And I can get an adapter so that I can use my Milwaukee 18-volt batteries on these as well. For that reason, I'm actually going to keep the corner sander, and the rest of these can all get sold together. All right, and then 2 more items, and then we can move on to breaking stuff. Lovely lamp, which you didn't see me pick up because it was a gift. And then down in here, we've got this microwave that is taking up space and getting scratched. But it looks pretty nice, so as long as one of these things fits, we can nope, doesn't fit. I really thought we had something there. Okay, never mind that. All right, now I think there's a specific order of operations that's going to make this go best, and that moves us to here. Went out to a friend who, I don't think we've said his name on the channel yet. Anyway, thanks, buddy. Had a bunch of metal stacked up for us to come and grab, and now I kind of want to move stuff into the truck so we can just lift it once, which means this needs to come out. Most of it needs to come out anyway. This is kind of heavy. We'll have to sort through that. And we got some prepared, and these things, we'll check those out after. This is a generator which allegedly does not make power. It turns on but doesn't, you know, do its job. I don't really know what that means. Maybe it's a simple fix, maybe not. But for now, it's just junk. And this thing is a traffic barrier. Don't ask. We'll leave it in the yard until we decide what to do with it. And this little pony keg could be a number of different things, but today I'm feeling like a savage, so it's just going to be scrap steel with a little bit of brass on it. Nailed it. Now, let me show you why we wanted to get that unloaded first. Hey, hey! You need to move anything? Sorry. Cool. Set it up right there and wiggle it back. Perfect. And we didn't really have to travel that far. Alrighty. So the reason I wanted to do it that way is because I kind of want to load up all the steel in there and then put as much as I possibly can in there. So I wanted that in the back, just the way I plan on unloading it. After these are in, we can just start putting bins and filling them up in there. Not meant for use with a t-shirt. And then, now unfortunately this isn't one of the good ones in that the radiator thingy is all copper. It's just aluminum, and then copper lines are soldered on to those aluminum lines. This looks like a job for gator grip. Now we got a couple of these, which are usually pretty fun. Now, we've got... Okay. We've got a couple of these. Which should be good. They're always filled with goodies. And they don't take very long. All right, now after a fair bit of fiddling and cleanup, we've got ourselves a decent stack of radiators and a bucket of number 2 copper. Okay. Now it's already looking better, but I gotta get other stuff loaded in there. So, well, that got a little silly, but it got done. Parts of that I hated. But now we've got cast aluminum and crap aluminum. And then we're going to toss in a little bit of stainless steel because it's big and in my way. Alright, now listen, this is not going exactly the way I had hoped it might. See, my plan here, my hope, was that this would be the video where we get to do all of the little projects that I had stashed around here. It was a little ambitious, I admit that. I wanted to do it all, get this thing completely cleared out. So then we could, I wonder if I need these for the closet in the thingy. What's that? Ooh, well, it's not really stainless. Also all aluminum. Cool. Yeah, I wanted to get this whole thing cleared out and looking good, and that included taking all the scrap in as well as doing all the little projects, and I thought that'd be a really fun video, and it would leave us in a good position to be able to do all kinds of treasure hunting, scrapping, trash picking, the whole deal. What is this thing? This is heavy. Ah. Oh man. This is a paper shredder, but it's really heavy. We'll have a look, because for sure there's a motor in there. But the truth is, it's getting pretty late in the week, and, well, a little dilly-dallying, but a lot of other distractions and different things. At this point, I'm just worried this video might end up being a little short, and if so, that's my bad. I apologize. Wow, this is quite a bit of wire. Quite a bit of wire. Cool. And a battery. A bit more aluminum. This is probably brass. Cool. It's not brass. Very strange. Usually they are. Oh, we got a bunch of wire to clip. Alright, let's see what's in here. It's not an apology, I'm just saying it's not necessarily the video I thought I was gonna... Holy cow. Oh, would you look at the bloody size of that? Well, a handful of wires here and there's. The rest of that is basically just plastic. Just with... Ah, get back here. There we go. Here's one. Sweet. And we got a nice sized motor out of that. Actually pretty decent. Looks all copper and some good chunks of aluminum on it too. This one will be good to take apart. And some decent steel weight. Yeah. Just gonna do my best to fly through these power cords. Maybe I need that. Not going to spend a lot of time video-wise. I'm going to spend as long as it takes, but not going to make you watch the entire thing. yeah, I'd hoped this would be some giant cash out haul, and I think it'll be pretty decent looking at what's sitting in the truck right there. But more than anything, it's just about clearing the space, settling out whatever projects have kind of collected, because not all of them are actually going to work out. Like that microwave, am I going to keep it? I don't know. I guess I might as well, because I'm like one part away from an easy 30 bucks, but it's getting all scratched up, and we all know whose fault that was. But I've been having a great time going out just trash picking and treasure hunting, and I want to spend even more time doing that. But the trick, as always, is to not get totally buried back at the house with unfinished stuff. These ones are nice. These right angle ones, quite a few of them in use around the house behind couches and such, but that one was getting all frayed. So I do remember we did a video where we tested this stuff out and determined it wasn't exactly really worth it to do all the clipping and such. But these are pretty thick, and there's not very many of them, so. Now, we've got a couple other bins, 2 other bins of just mixed junk that we're gonna have to go through, and then I think that should be pretty good as far as loading the thing up and hauling it in and getting cash out. All right, bam. Wire. All right, so the one bin of mixed junk. This is the small one. Oh yeah, this came from the house fire. A lot of this may not actually be for scrap. Reciprocating saw blades, heavy duty battery terminals, heavy gauge wire to strip. Another heavy gauge wire to strip. Another battery terminal. We'll put that with the lead. A couple more of those fittings. These eyelets seem serious. Very thick cutoff wheels. Bunch of good files and rasps. A collection of grinding bits. A copper pipe handle. Alright. Cool. I just realized the stuff on the floor was out of focus. Now I feel pretty silly. Alright, thankfully those were mostly just tools to put away. Oof. Oh, this one got heavy. Uh-oh. Oh, there. It's because of these transformers that were stashed. There we are. Alright, now we're just going to rip through the collection. And you'll notice we are on the floor. That's part of the reason why I'm so motivated to get this done, because I need some counter space back. So, some fun toys in here. This one's kind of neat. It's mostly steel. Oh. Huh, okay, so it's mostly steel except for these, which are brass, but they are wrapped around steel. And then the brass is nice and soft, so we can just peel that steel wire out. This one. Oh, yeah, a little bit of brass. Not a lot, but that's okay. We have more wire. Another wire. A couple bits of stainless. Give this one the business. Nice. So those are extruded aluminum. Nothing particularly exciting on those. Yeah. Just gotta get all these thumb screws out of there. Alright, we got the stainless. And we got the rest. A little bit of aluminum over there. We got some more cables. Go through, clean those. That is just going to be steel with some brass color brushed on. But this little wire is copper. Another piece of aluminum. Those are all copper. And then a bit of brass. What is that? Extruded aluminum. And then, oh, and this nice copper pipe. Okay, so we got some bits of copper, a bit of brass, the aluminum out of here. Those ACs. We'll do these when we do the transformers. And then this thing. This is it's like a light. We're looking in somebody's ear. Oh yes. This one came off the trailer. And then this thing is basically just a transformer. Oh. Little brass rod. I know just the tool for this. Cool. And that leaves us with a couple fairly basic items. There's this one. A little bit of copper tubing. Just a small one, but always happy to add it. And then these lumps of dirty brass. Sometimes I don't bother with these, but they do add up. I think they're a little too fiddly to spend the time cleaning up, but dirty brass is still valuable. And that's pretty, yeah, that's steel. We have a cast aluminum outside. And there we are then, cast aluminum. Not much of it either. But this thing I'm a little more interested in. This says it's an elevator electric contact. So it's like the door hits that thing and it makes a contact. Yep, contact. Ooh. Those are giant contacts. How neat. Oh, you know what? I bet there's a silver button somewhere in here, but I just don't see it. What is causing the click? What is causing the click? I'm gonna hit it with some test fluid. Turns pink, we've got silver. If it turns green, and it's got a bubbly blue-green, so it's definitely just silver-coated brass. But we do have a cool brass wheel. I'll probably keep that just to be cool. All right, so that just leaves us with these 2 aluminum pans. Not this rubber part, obviously. Okay. And we got our cast aluminum. And a bit of a mess, but don't worry about that. Which puts us in clear view of our silly little goal for the day. A 1 and a 2. We got the number 1 in here. Don't worry about that. That's for something else. Yeah. Good to me. Full enough anyway. Not everything we wanted. A couple vanity straps. We'll be on our way. Alrighty. I already unloaded all the non-ferrous inside. I don't really like to film in there because there's just too many people, too many, whatever, it doesn't matter. Get all this stuff quickly unloaded here. And then we're going to see how we did. Well, we got just shy of $400, plus a little more than $100 for all of the items that we listed for sale. A lot of them are gone. Just got one more bed frame to get rid of. Yeah, obviously there was more. I'll put the receipt on the screen for anybody who's interested. Unsurprisingly, everything with copper was the big performer, and I'm glad I went to Recon because they're always so fast. And it was good because I needed to run to the dentist's office as well. Now, it is almost time. This video is coming out tomorrow. This one was a bit of a scramble. And I should just call it good there because you know what? There's still work to do. Didn't get all of the projects done, but it looks a lot better in here, and I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. But there is one more. There's one little project that I really wanted to fit into this one because I'm really excited. And that is these little guys over here. Little may not be the most appropriate word to use for them, but compared to some, they're not bad. This one's just gonna move over for the time being. I haven't tested it, but it should be all right. This is the one I want to focus on, because that one I'm gonna just find a new home for. Well, I'd really like to see it in action, but this is the one I think we'll be keeping. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. First, there's a few things that need to be done, and one of them includes a gift that we got in the mail. But that's not the first step. The first step is a bit of repair, because somebody clipped the cord off of this one while it was waiting for us to find it. Now, if you've watched my scrapping a CRT video, you'll know how I feel about that. Heck, if you've watched my clipping, is it worth it to clip the ends off of wires video, you'll know, based on the math and the time spent, I think it's kind of a waste of time to go around clipping short little power cords off of appliances and electronics, because they just don't add up. There, now that one's pretty straightforward, and conveniently it even has this this little thing, you know, little plug-in, so it's easy to take off and on. It says right on it, it's a dual 18 gauge, and it looks like there's enough here to actually just solder together and use some E-tape or something to connect it. Just carefully use a blade to bare these. I didn't even notice I ran out of space on the SD card there, but we got it soldered back together, and it looks a little haggard, but I wanted to preserve the little anchor that fits in there, so it doesn't matter. It's not for sale. It's for me. Slip that one back on there. But before we go attaching it all, closing it up, we're going to want to give it a bit of a clean out. Thankfully, we don't have a cockroach problem around here, but I still don't want any, there's still like spider webs in there, and I don't want any bug carcasses short-circuiting on something. I know that's not likely, but... That's really all I needed to do to test it. The moment of truth. I shouldn't have to worry too much about the current because it's... Woo. I heard something. Oh my. Okay, the buttons work. That pitch, that CRT pitch seems to be... Well, I can't hear it right now, but I am getting kind of old. Now, I'm already willing to call this a success. But here's one more thing I'd like to test, and that's in here. This package comes from a longtime friend of the channel, Eric Westerman, who I didn't specifically ask if I could call him out by name. So if the answer is no, oh, more than I was expecting in here. The We Make Radio CJSW book. I'm a big fan of CJSW, and a window sticker, and Live Fast, Eat Trash. The smelly thing on the window, air freshener. Thanks, Eric. That is very kind. And oh, I'm not wearing. I was wearing a CJSW shirt earlier. Those are fantastic. But reason for this care package. Oh my goodness. Is these two Toshiba remotes, and he even included batteries. So, and there's a CJSW pin there. Now I'm going to try the older one. I don't have any specific expectations. I do think they're pretty simple, and one of these should work. But I would really like it if the small one worked, because it kind of looks, you know, like a match. Hopefully the remote works at all. That was a weird laugh. Okay, so power works, but if you recall, the reason why this is important is because this TV doesn't have a way to change inputs without the remote. I gotta say, it's got a little, just a little bit of wobble, and the convergence could obviously use a bit of adjustment. But I didn't grab my component cables. This is on composite, so. Alright, well, I gotta say, I really like the resolution on this thing. The color seems super good, although the red is a little hot. And I think that might be, I could probably just dick around with the settings, probably don't need to do like anything serious. But I found the service menu to check the usage hours, and this is, it looks weird because it's displayed in hex, which is base 16, and I don't know anything, I just have the internet. But I used a converter, and this is actually super low hours, relatively speaking. You put this into a hex converter, and it's roughly, it's just shy of 5,300 hours on. which is really low for a monitor like this. It must have just been like a bedroom TV or something like that, like not the family use one, which makes sense. Like 50,000 hours is a lot. You know, it's going to start getting worn out, but 53? She's just a baby. She's a little rough, but the goods are good. Anyway, great little set. Very pleased. Thank you, Eric, for the care package. Not sure. I mean, heck, we might as well test this out, eh? Yeah, that's good because this one doesn't work. I am so pleased. This video was fun. I've got some space. I'll spend the rest of the weekend sweeping and doing the little stuff, and then next week, ideally, hopefully, we will be able. Yes, we will. We'll head out, we'll find more treasures, and I'm looking forward to sharing it all with you. Well, thank you for joining me on what was basically an extended side quest, but this is the other side of all that dumpster diving and such. Sometimes you end up with really cool treasures. Sometimes you end up with a little extra cash from selling stuff. And sometimes you end up with a big old mess. Trash life, am I right? Look at a sticker. Well, back to more treasure hunting soon, and I'll see you there. Thanks for joining me. Leave it better than you found it. Keep doing the thing.